Gakpo takes the ball in his chest, sends Mavropanos for a Musaka. It's a miracle what you're about to see. He must have been studying football at the school of Mr. Miyagi, because this is Karate Kid. Right, hello everybody, welcome back to The Golden Sky. I'm Tom, and in today's video, I am going to analyse the Liverpool victory against West Ham and show you which two players in particular were absolutely key to that victory. Let's get into it. So this is how Liverpool set up in the game, with the team on the board and then West Ham in their formation as well. And it was a bit of an interesting shape and a shift in shape from Arne Slot, as we saw Szoboszlai come in on the right wing and also Joe Gomez come in at right back, a different right side to the one that we're usually used to seeing. Obviously Salah, and it's been Szoboszlai at right back so far a lot this season. So what did we do differently in this game that helped us actually make a positive change and win a game of football for once? Well, first of all, we saw Isak obviously on the last line where he's at his best. Gakpo and Szoboszlai went wide, but it was all about Florian Wirtz, and he is the real fulcrum for why Liverpool were so good in this game. Or not so good, but at least good enough to get a win. Let's be real, this wasn't a vintage performance, and West Ham are not, or were not, an amazing side in this game, not particularly tough for Liverpool to beat. Came at a much needed time, and Florian Wirtz was able to float around these positions behind West Ham's midfield and in front of the defence. Obviously, this is where he works his best. Everybody knows this. You don't need to be an experienced analyst in football to know that. I am not an experienced analyst in football to know that. But this is where he does his best work. And we saw him pop up countless times in these positions. But what Liverpool also did is we allowed Kirkes and Gomez to go forward and be very, very wide. And now that allowed Gakpo and Szoboszlai, both of them, to come inside a little bit at times. And you'll see this more as we go through clips in the video later on. You'll see examples where Kirkes and Gomez are both wide. And then we have McAllister and Gravenberch. And crucially, McAllister and Gravenberch were stood in the middle of the pitch. Round of applause for Arne Slot, everybody. He's figured it out. Our midfielders need to stand in the middle. And then Van Dijk and Konate were here. So if we pop the ball onto the pitch, a lot of the time Van Dijk would have the ball, and West Ham didn't really press, to be honest. It was very half-hearted if they did. It wasn't particularly difficult for Van Dijk to get the ball. We've seen teams really shade him off. So if Konate gets onto it, they shade here. So it's not possible for him to get the ball. That didn't really happen in this game. Van Dijk was able to get it a lot. We were able to play passes, maybe into Wirtz, and then when the pressure would come, he could just move it on. We saw that a lot. You'll see an example of that later. Or maybe we could go directly wide, and then Wirtz was able to come in, link up like this when the pressure came, maybe receive the ball in these, what people like to call half spaces, and do a lot of damage in this area. Now, he doesn't come away with the goal or an assist in this game, but he was the best player. He was the man of the match. And the other player that was key was also Joe Gomez. Not so much from a tactical, anything complex point of view from Gomez, but we'll look at the clips later on in the video, and you'll see how he played. Just impressed me, playing that right back position, something we've been crying out for. I think Gomez to play, mostly wanting Gomez to play here at centre back, but comes in at right back and did a really good job. Just keeping his game simple. That was the focus for Gomez, I think, in this game. He did a great job, whether that be getting down the wing, getting a cross in, or just providing width to allow other players to come inside and have space like this when West Ham are deep, and allow players like Szoboszlai and Wirtz to fill up these spaces where they can do damage. We saw a lot of times we'd have the ball on the edge of the box with chances to shoot. So all in all, having Kirkes and Gomez wide, because we didn't really fear any counter-attacking threat from West Ham. Having Wirtz crucially play in that number 10 position. I mean, crucial. Not out on the left, not out on the right. Number 10, where he can float across. And having our midfielders stand in the middle to provide passing options so we can actually play through the middle of the pitch. You'll see that in the examples I'm going to show you. So let's get to them right now. If you are enjoying the video so far, just jumping in here to say, drop it a like. Let's get to 20 likes on the video, and subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. We're trying to get to 250 subscribers, and a lot of you guys who watch are not subscribed. So if you are watching and you're not subscribed and you're enjoying the video so far, click subscribe. Let's get to 250. Let's get onto those clips. Alright, so starting off early in the game here with a simple bit of play from Liverpool, but it was really a tone setter for what we were going to see later throughout the game as the game progressed. And it just starts off a long ball, free header for Konate. This is sort of what West Ham were not really imposing any sort of stamp on the game, any sort of challenge. There was not a lot going on from Wilson. He did resemble a bit of a skeleton up front, but like we're past Halloween, so they're very much back in the attic, not up front for West Ham. And Konate won the header, and the ball went all the way through to Florian Wirtz, and we see straight away he picks the ball up and he's in between the lines. Now, Kara analysed this on, I don't know if it was Monday Night Football or there wasn't a Monday Night Football. It was just after the game, I think, some sort of analysis. There we go, show. And again, like I said, it doesn't take a genius to work out if you put Wirtz in this position, good things are generally going to happen to your football club. So he gets the ball here and it doesn't do anything too crazy, just dribbles and look, attracts the attention of so many players. And he has the composure, he has the timing. In Spain, and you might have heard this word used online, but it's a Spanish term in football. It's called pausa. And what that means is, it's also used in Argentina, and I have a book about Argentinian football where it actually originated this term. What it means is, it's an innate sort of nature to be able to know the right moment to release the ball, not to do it too early or too late, but to know when that moment comes. And Wirtz does have that a bit in his game, where he knows when the pressure's coming and when he can release the ball at the right time. That's what happens here. The ball is released to Gakpo, who rolls over it, and in my opinion, he shouldn't have rolled over it. This is a mistake from Gakpo. He should, I mean, he can even take a touch and go forward into the box. Maybe Magassa has to foul him. Maybe he can have a shot. He lets it run. It goes all the way to Isak. Then Isak has a shot, and now, unfortunately for Isak, this shot does go to Narnia and lands in the River Thames, but not the point. And on another day, Isak bends this one right into the top corner, like he would have done if he was playing for Newcastle against the mighty Reds. Again, not the point. The point is, Florian Wirtz starting the game on the front foot. We get Isak involved, something we've been crying out for, to actually get him involved in the game. A few minutes in. Good start from us. Next one now, we're seeing McAllister on the ball, and again, lack of pressure from West Ham, real lack of pressure. They really, really helped us out in this game. They've got sort of two forward men who aren't really doing a whole lot of anything. You've got the skeleton, Callum Wilson, up front. He's more like a zombie with no legs left, like a crawler. If you ever play Call of Duty, you'll know that reference. McAllister gets the ball, plays it out wide to Kerkez, and we see here the first example of what I talked about on the tactics board. You see Kerkez really wide over here, and then almost completely parallel to him on the other side of the pitch, Joe Gomez, giving Liverpool so much width and allowing Dominic Szoboszlai to come inside, Gakpo to be inside, and Wirtz to be in the number 10. Now, this is not only good for our attacking situation, but also if we can bring more bodies into this middle sort of area of the pitch and obviously allow Gomez, who's got good recovery pace, and Kirk has the same, to run back if West Ham were to win the ball. If they were to win it, let's say it comes into the middle, we have more bodies who are able to sort of compete for the ball within this sort of, let's finish off the circle that I've drawn here. That's called, well, it's not got a name per se, but it's a good way to set up your rest defence. Just something I noticed from the game. Kerkez gets a bit of luck. The ball ricochets sort of luckily to Wirtz, but again, he's on the front foot. First touch out of his feet, in between the lines again of the defence and the midfield, where he's most dangerous. And I saw a few people saying Isak maybe made the wrong run here. You can see what he wants to do. He's trying to get to the back post, so he wants to run to the blind side of Todibo and maybe try and get around him to this back post. However, he doesn't quite have the time to do that, to get that run to be fully complete by the time Wirtz gets here and crosses it in. What people said he might have been better off doing is just making a dart, try and hold off to Debo and dart into the 6-yard box to eventually get onto this cross that Wirtz puts in. It comes into the box, and Wirtz tries to sort of wrap this around to Isak, but you can see he's tried to go around the back of Todibo, who stayed in front. Decent defending from Todibo, to be honest. and Isak isn't able to get there. Todibo blocks him off, and Juve clears it out for a corner. But again, positive signs from us. Wirtz getting on the ball. Isak involved, if not touching the ball, at least involved in the play. And you're seeing the use of our fullbacks nice and wide. We move on. We see West Ham, again, no pressure on the ball whatsoever. And this is why I'm saying the game, whilst it's not vintage for Liverpool, it didn't really need to be. It wasn't that difficult of a game, to be honest. We've seen sides sit off like this against us, though, and we have had trouble. So it was nice to see us actually break a team down for once, even if it did take a little while in the game, which is fine. But we're seeing that formation again. We've got Konate and Van Dijk, and we were comfortable leaving this back against West Ham. We didn't really fear any counter-attack. There's not a lot of pace in this team with the Skella zombie up front, Betfred's best mate, and the midfielders. There's only really Bowen who can run really somewhat fast. You've got Kirkes and Gomez out on the wings, nice and wide again, and then you've got the two midfielders sat in front of the defenders, actually in the middle of the pitch, providing passing options. It's a miracle. Szoboszlai, narrow, he was on that right wing, but how many times have we seen Salah in a position like this? Not many. We're used to seeing Salah out here this season, and I think that's a clear tactic when Salah plays, is to keep him wide. For some reason, we don't like to put him here, and I think in this stage in his career, it'd actually be better closer towards the goal, but that's another story. Van Dijk tries a pass, it sort of bobbles around a bit, ends up with Wirtz competing for a header. Again, good stuff from him. Forced to Isak, involved again. How many more times have I said Isak than in the Nottingham Forest tactics video? I mean, he barely touched the ball in the last one. He didn't have loads and loads of touches here, but involved so much more than in that Forest game. Easy, simple play here. Moves the ball onto Gomez, and you see the benefits again of having Gomez on this high, wide position. Can run onto this ball, and now we see where he keeps his game simple, and this is what he did a really good job of. How many times this season have I said in these videos, Connor Bradley will not cross the ball in. He just won't do it. Or if he does do it, he does it too late, and it never comes off. Gomez just keeps it simple, ball out of his feet, holds it up to the back post, crosses the ball in. What it creates is a great chance for Liverpool. Gakpo gets onto it. He's huge, by the way, Cody Gakpo. He's about 8 foot tall at the back post. I don't know why he's so seldomly used in the air, but there we go. Heads it inside. It falls to Isak, who goes full bicycle kick, bendy, wacky inflatable tube man mode. Tries to sort of gymnastics this one into the net, but Nipple makes a good save and keeps the game level. And I put this screenshot in here to show, I thought it was really good to see Liverpool get players into the box. Not just into the box, but actually loaded them into the 6-yard box. And this is not with the game, you know, last minute on the line where we've got 25 attackers on the pitch. This is just a regular bit of play in the game where we've got players ready to score in attacking positions. Almost 4 players stood inside the 6-yard box if Szoboszlai was a yard further forward. That's good. And we've not gone crazy and got a load more players on the edge. We're actually set up relatively stably. So, another example of West Ham. You've seen it by now. No pressure on the ball, allowing Van Dijk to have it. You've got this sort of midfield setup. No pressure really on any of our players. They're just trying to mark space. The ball can come into McAllister. It can go any number of positions, but we see Kirkes again. He's not wide this time, but he's more advanced than the midfielders, and the same with Gomez. That was interesting, that we were constantly pushing our fullbacks further forward, and Szoboszlai again tucked in away from the wing. This time Van Dijk decides to do one of his trademark longer balls, and the ball ends up causing Aaron Wan-Bissaka to, I don't even know how to describe this. He goes, bloody hell, he must have been studying football at the school of Mr. Miyagi, because this is Karate Kid, I'm telling you. Turns himself inside out. His foot nearly touches his head. Pretty orthodox defending here from Wan-Bissaka. I'm pretty sure they teach you this at under 6 level. This is obviously the correct way to defend long balls. It falls to Gakpo, who lays it into Florian Wirtz's path. Now, Florian Wirtz should score here. He should put this one into this far corner, or, you know, maybe you can lift it into the top corner of the goal. He doesn't. It's quite a tame shot in the end, and Areola saves it. Now, I do wonder, I still haven't seen a replay properly, if Magassa actually gets a toe on the ball or impacts Wirtz's shot in some way, causing there to be a lack of power. Not sure. I am looking for an excuse as to why this shot was so tame, but it was. And we don't score, but again, good play, Wirtz involved, actually being able to create chances without having to have 8 attackers on the pitch. It's good stuff. McAllister now on the ball, and West Ham, again, just being rigid, trying to mark space in that 4-4-1-1 that we saw on the board. Liverpool trying to break it down. We've got McAllister on the ball. And this is, honestly, it's like heaven to me watching this move. Because Liverpool, believe it or not, actually play through the middle of the pitch in build-up. It's a miracle what you're about to see. Do not wash your eyes. This is real life. McAllister plays it to Wirtz, and what you'll see, this move all happens because of Florian Wirtz. Now, he does nothing fancy in this move, but without him, this does not happen. I can promise you that. Because he's the fulcrum for it all. McAllister plays him the ball, he shows for it, he's available, he's brave. It's a relatively tight situation, but he's completely aware of what's going on. Why? Well, you can see as the ball is coming towards him, he's already checking over his shoulder to see what the picture is behind him. Now, people like to call this scanning. Now, perfectly appropriate, but when I played football, the clubs I played for, my coaches would say to me, if a ball's coming towards you, always, as a midfield player, I was a midfield player, check your shoulder and you'll see what's going on behind you, and you can be ready with your first touch or whatever you need to do to move the ball on. That's exactly what Florian Wirtz does here. It's a crucial part of being a midfield player. Any young players watching? Check your shoulders when you receive the ball with your back to goal. Or even not with your back to goal. Anyway, Wirtz receives the ball, left foot. This is another thing I got taught. Can you receive on one foot and play with the other? It's much faster. And he knows Magassa is coming in to try and make a tackle, and he draws him in. He almost teases him with this first touch. This is Pausa that we're seeing earlier. He's waiting for this tackle to come in because he knows what he's going to do already. Pops the ball off to Gravenberch with his right foot. Magassa flies past him, and we're away. We've completely cut through already. Gravenberch plays a simple ball into Szoboszlai, who just knocks it back into Wirtz's path. Simple play, but has just beautifully cut through West Ham. This is really beautiful stuff. Gomez already high and wide, advanced past the midfielders, just like we've been saying all throughout the video. Wirtz plays him the ball. Gomez keeps his game simple. Out of his feet, delivers the cross in. Now, if it wasn't for a good intervention by Areola in the net, Isak taps this one in, and it's genuinely one of our best goals of the season because it's a brilliant, fluid move. We're unlucky. It was just so nice to see us playing like this, and it's all because of Florian Wirtz. Now, second half, more of the same. We were still trying to look for that goal to break the deadlock. This time we've got Gomez on the ball, in build-up, wide, plays a long ball, over to Wirtz, again, involved in the play. I mean, he was just everywhere in this game. So unlucky not to come away with actual and assist or goal numbers that people really, really care about. Personally, I just wanted to be playing well, and he was in this game. First time he plays this ball, again, he's aware of the whole picture. We've got Isak making a great run on the last line. Gakpo, great run as well. Wirtz plays this ball in and almost gets it in. Mavropanos is able to last-ditch stretch and concede a corner. Isak almost has another tap-in. Now, this is actually our goal, believe it or not. What's funny about this is it's a long throw. That's right. Liverpool played Joe Gomez for like the first time in the whole season, and we score a long throw. I mean, you really couldn't make it up. How many problems we've had with long throws. We played Gomez. We're like, oh, how the turntables, my friends. Here we go. Liverpool take a long throw. Now, the initial header is actually won by West Ham. It comes out back to Gomez, who, again, keeps his game simple, just plays it to Florian Wirtz on the edge of the box, who, of course, was involved in the goal. He gets what's called the hockey assist here, the assist before the assist. Little intricate ball into Gakpo, draws the attention again of all the West Ham players. You can see they're all just watching him, every single one of them. They forget about Gakpo. Bad defender from West Ham. Gakpo gets onto it, just hits it into an area. Nothing crazy from Gakpo, just hits it into an area. Isak got the instinct to be in the right place, and this finish is not an easy finish at all. You see the ball is actually bounced up before it gets to him, and he's had to hit it sort of as the ball is rising in step into the near post. It's instinctive. He's not really thought about this. He's not had time to measure out his finish and think of where he's going to aim it. He just instinctively knows the technique, the position, the placement, the power, all that stuff to get on the ball to score a goal. And that's because he's a top level striker. Now, you see from this angle just how little space he has to aim for at this near post. The ball's coming across onto his right foot and he manages to hit it. I know the line is sort of going down there, but he hits it right into this near post in this small gap between Areola and the post. Brilliant finish. Now, we'll finish off with the second goal Liverpool scored in this game. There really wasn't a lot going on in this match, I'll be honest. Especially after that first goal, all we saw was some 100% dodgy yellow cards, which I'm not going to analyse. They do not need analysing. That was as clear as day a dodgy yellow card as I've ever seen, followed by a dodgy red card. And a bit of Liverpool defending, but not a lot. Not enough to really get your teeth into. So let's just go to the second goal, which was injected by Andy Robbo. Good play from him. Just sped up the play. It was very much sort of being lulled into a slow walk pace type game. And Robbo came on and said, hang on a minute. Let me burst down this wing like I'm 5 years younger, which he does. Makes a good burst. Plays it into Gakpo, who in turn moves it onto Ekitike. He tries to run forward into a attacking position. The ball breaks. Falls out to Szoboszlai. Get a bit of luck where it lands, but Szoboszlai makes it his. Really, really good play from him. Is able to beat the goalkeeper and the defender to the ball. Good effort. That's what we like to see. Can play this ball back to Joe Gomez, who is arriving on the edge of the box right here. Szoboszlai obviously just knocks it back to him. Gomez, like I said, again, keeps his game simple. First time, delivers the ball in. West Ham forced really deep. Liverpool, bodies in the box. Now, Gakpo takes the ball in his chest, sends Mavropanos for a Moussaka, and whacks the ball into the net. And Liverpool go 2-0 up and leave London with 3 points. And that is how Liverpool, tactically, via use of Florian Wirtz's position and the two fullbacks, but notably Joe Gomez in this game, beat West Ham United. And also just having a bit of extra quality always helps. Right guys, that is going to do it for today's video. I really do hope that you did enjoy it. And I want to say, now that we're at the end of the video, if you are a regular viewer to the channel, you will notice at the start of the video especially, a little bit of a different intro without having the intro is what you'll really notice. Just experimenting. So let me know what you think. Experimenting without the intro. Not sure it's necessary to have it on the videos. If you love it, you might miss it. If not, please do let me know in the comments if you even noticed it was gone or if you prefer the videos without it. And also getting straight into the action of the video rather than a bit of an introduction. Let me know what you think. If you love it or you hate it, please let me know in the comments. And if you did watch to this point, please do like the video, like we've already said. Trying to get to 20 likes on each video and 250 subscribers. So please do subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you listen on the podcast, 5-star rating and reviews. I am still a little bit ill, guys, so apologies in this video also if you've been able to hear that in my voice. I am still dying a little bit, but the show must go on, and Liverpool have games thick and fast in this festive period. So I'll be back tomorrow with the Sunderland match ratings. I've already done a preview for the Sunderland game in a short form video, so if you haven't seen that on the channel, head over to my shorts section and watch that video, and I'll speak to you on the ratings tomorrow. Let me know what you think of the changes today, guys. I'll speak to you then. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.